man, it's Friday night. I got me and my little sidekick out here. Come over here, Blondie. Come on, let's say hi to everybody. Come on. Look at it. I got my car washing sidekick. Say hi to everybody. So me and Katie Bell are going to wash the M3, and this will be the post-detail wash. And so now we're going to get it washed, get Bead Maker on it, and then we'll have the project completed, at least until my wheels get here. So I'm just going to do a good old-fashioned hang out and chat you up while I do my thing. I have lots of soap. These are all brand new bottles of soap, and I usually fill them up a little bit higher than the way they normally come because I'm always trying to empty out a gallon. But this Black Friday thing is going on, and we only have a few gallons left. So I'm gonna fill up my 32 ounce here and get these topped appropriately so they don't expand in shipping and cause issues. Yeah, let me check this. We're at, I think, 135,000 today. Yeah, we're at $137,000 today. Holy crap. Oy vey, this is so cool. All by me doing this, playing in my garage, doing something I would have been doing anyway. That's the proper level. I'm not trying to cheat anybody here. I just don't want to have this overflow and ship. So yeah, I stubbornly wasn't going to do a sale again, and then decided to do it this week. And holy moly, I think we might do $250,000 this weekend. Oh my gosh, just amazing. Just so crazy, especially after the pain of making the decision to do this full time and all the uncertainty that comes with it. Yeah, I'll clean these up nicely. See, what I do is I normally take my full, or like if I have an almost empty gallon, I'll take and just top off the extra gallons. So these are all brand new gallons. I just put a little bit too much in them. Because I always feel, and I say this all the time, I always feel complete. Like I feel like I've accomplished something when I finish up a gallon. Okay, yeah, that's the proper level there. So shoot, I probably shouldn't sell all these. I'm gonna run out of soap. I should be okay. So I'll take these over to the garage tomorrow. This is the Griot's gallon spigot that I've been playing with to see if it's viable. I think it's pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna get, while I'm here, I might as well get the foam cannon prepped. I think we already have another pallet of atoms coming, so I think I should be okay here. All right, so I got my soap ready to go and my wash mitt and buckets ready to go, but I gotta do the wheels first. But let me tell you a little bit about what the plan is here tonight. I wanted to show you this, and I've been waiting for this to see if it actually happened. The car's been parked in the sun quite a few days. It's been, what, 2 weeks since I finished it, since I finished doing Power Lock Colonite. And we do have the oils that have come to the surface. And so what happens, what I want to show you is that, you know, there's like a haze over the surface, especially the roof and the trunk and the hood, where colonite tends to heat up and sweat. You know, oils come to the surface. It is not really a big deal. What I always suggest people do when I'm talking about this, I've never actually shown it on camera. I've always just talked about it happening in some instances. It didn't happen to the WRX, so I couldn't show it. The car just needs to be washed. So resist the temptation to go and wipe it down, because you don't want to scratch all that work. You know, we don't want to scratch the surface after all the polishing we did. So now I'm just going to wash it like normal, and then I'll show you our Bead Maker application, and then we'll be done with I guess the whole detailing project. And then we're going to see over time, how does Power Lock, Colonite, Bead Maker, how does that hold up? How does that do? Does it become contaminated? Does it have dust issues? Meaning, does it attract dust? Does it do well? Does it continue to look great? Do I need to add colonite? What if I needed to add another layer of colonite? Could I do that? And so where I have years and years and years of playing with power law, Culinite together, I don't have the third step of this, which is the bead maker application. What I do have years and years of topping the Culinite with is a spray wax. It used to be Griot's, and then it became Meguiar's D156, and then eventually became Optimum spray wax. The reason why I chose Optimum is it's, you know, the supposed UV inhibitors, and just the way I like the way it looked. It looked a little better than D156. So now we're gonna scrap those and use Bead Maker as our drying aid, and I'm also gonna test out in this application, using a twist loop towel. You guys know I've talked about disliking twist loop towels. I just think they're too heavy, but maybe I'll change my mind on that. This is the 2019 Maddie, where I'm open to possibilities. So anyway, I'm gonna do the initial Bead Maker application and use it with the Griot's PFM towels. I'm waiting on the rag company's versions to come to test those out in comparison. I had made an order of Griot's interior cleaner and carpet cleaner, but I've used the twist loop stuff. I don't know, I just didn't like it. They tend to snag and things like that, and they're not as gentle on the paint surface. So we'll see if that's a viable solution for me or not. So I'm going to test that out and see what that feels like and what that's like. I also fought everybody a little bit on Nexet Cockpit. You know, I've been using this for years and years. It's my favorite interior cleaner, Nexet Cockpit Premium. Jared made the comment of it smelling like urinal cakes, and I don't know if they changed the formula or now I've just been opened my eyes to it smells, and so now I can't unsmell it. So I put it in, I fought back a little bit and said, hey, this stuff is still great. It is great. I mean, the finish it leaves is incredible. And now every time I get in my M3, all I can smell are gosh darn urinal cakes. So I've always liked this. This leaves a very similar finish, not as aggressive, I think, as the Nexet, but it doesn't smell like anything. There's like no scent at all, which is virtually scentless. And this leaves a really nice finish. So this is the interior cleaner, which I've always used, but now they have an interior detailer, which I just bought, which we'll try out. This has a tiny little bit of a scent to it, but certainly not a urinal cake scent. My guess is, you know, it's been happening a lot with Nexet, you know, when it was Einzet, you know, it's the company went out of business, and then I guess somebody bought the formulas, and they've been kind of monkeying with some of the things, like the Colortech wheel cleaner is a little different, and this is certainly different. I'd never even noticed the smell before. So maybe it's the new bottle, the new version. And I really didn't even notice it when I first put it in there, when I picked the fight on Facebook. And then now I have to admit, I can't unsmell it. The freaking M3 smells like it now, and I'm like, it doesn't smell like anything. Well, yeah, I jumped the gun on that one a little bit, so sorry to all those involved. So I think Cockpit Premium may have to go by the wayside. And I know a lot of people use Geon. Geon is an alternative. You know, I don't have any experience with that. I've never used that product. It's probably good. So maybe I'll get my hands on that at some point here. But I know this works well, and I've been using this until I maybe discovered Cockpit Premium maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So I'd used this for a decade prior. It is a great product. You know, this, like, the couple of surviving Griot's products for me are interior cleaner and window cleaner, and then their carpet cleaner seems to be whatever. I don't ever really need to clean the carpet, so it seems like a pretty viable thing. And then their interior scent. So those are the products that have survived the test of time for me. So anyway, I'll shut up. Let's get moving. I was just sitting here, I got a little sidetracked. I was sitting here playing with these things. I just did the wheels, and I was playing with all these these new fittings, but check this out, this is big. So this is an M22 14 millimeter by 3/8 connection, right? So like on the Krenzla hose, you know, this will bolt right up and alleviate the need to do the extra twist and seal plug, because normally I put this 3/8 and then I have to do a 3/8 to M22 adapter, and now we'll have the ability to go direct. And then this is the new Osmatic 3/8 coupler. This is going to have to be modified a little bit, but this is an M22 to direct 3/8 plug for the exit of the K1322. It's a little long and it's a little narrow, so actually the hole in there is not as through, or doesn't is going to restrict more than I would like. And then I've got the 1/4 inch version too, which we'll use on the end of the gun. So this is taking a while, because here's the first iteration of the 3/8, and then here's the second iteration. I don't know why they made it so long. We don't need that much length. I mean, a hose isn't even long enough to thread all the way in there. So there's our 3/8 coupler, and then here's our 3/8 to M22. I'm also going to try to convince them, I've been working on, I'd like them to make it a 15mm opening for all the inexpensive pressure washers, but these are much more stout than the MTM version. It's just going to be another option. So if you really want a high-end solution, these are going to be, these are better than, say, the MTMs, but it's probably going to be 3 or 4 times the cost. Here's an MTM 1/4 inch versus a Mosmatic, just a more stout. This is a Swiss machined product versus a Chinese product, but I've also got to work on, this actually has less restriction. The hole is a little bigger than what's on the Mosmatic, so I'd like to adjust that a little bit. Anyway, I got to get this 3/8 on my hose out there. I'll probably put it on tomorrow, make sure it works, and then test it out with the new gun. And then I'm still working on the finalizing of getting the 1/8 inch tips. So getting these tips done. It's amazing. I mean, when you're dealing with the stuff overseas, it takes forever to get the prototypes back. So here's the new wand design with the integrated 1/4 inch plug built, already pre-installed, and then my new version of the tip. But I've got to get these 40-degree tips made. This is a custom one they made for me, so I've got to get to make all different sizes in 40-degree, so we can have this wand solution. It's amazing how stout this thing feels with this, amazing female 1/4 inch, which we'll have to also probably have replacements for this as well. But just listen to that. The tolerances are really tight, just really nice. And then this would connect to one of these, like so. And then the 3/8 would be for the other section. So anyway, let's get back to work here. Let me show you I think you can see this. See there's a little bit of haziness to the paint. So if you follow the light, I think you can see that there. That's the sweating I'm talking about, or the oils that came to the surface. And so you can really see it here. So I don't want to do this, but you can actually feel it, the wax. I don't want to scratch it, so I'm not gonna mess with it. But you could just wipe it off with a detail spray. So instead, we're gonna wash it and remove it. You can even see the little haziness to the roof. The sides of the car generally don't do it as much. That chunk's just a little dirty. So we're gonna wash it, clean it, and remove all of that, and then apply Bead Maker, and this sucker's gonna pop. Yeah, you can really see it right here. I really got to get this darn thing some wheels, get it lowered. So I ordered HRE R101 lightweights, so I ordered those, and then I ordered Brembo 380mm GT in yellow. Very a la my Sapphire Blue GT3 with the yellow brakes. And then I did Type 3 rotors. The Type 3 have like the opposing little slots. Gosh. I just like how this stuff reacts to everything. I like how it looks. I like how it reacts to water. Same thing with the wolves on the glass. And then we're gonna make it look even better with the Bead Maker. I'm gonna be hard pressed to yank this off and put a coating on it. So the wheels will probably be here, I would guess, in early January. Almost looking a little watery. I mixed it a little sooner than or a little earlier than I normally do. I'm telling you, this darn bucket filler is insane. It's so good. Hasn't changed color at all, hasn't got any corrosion or anything on it. All the stainless stuff looks amazing. I'm still fighting to try to get the, I finally found the company that sells these fire hose nozzles, and they won't let me sell them. Called them 1,000 times. The company's called Dixon Valves. They're just concerned, because I'm online, and they're concerned about, local distribution and what will they think, and it's always tricky. I need to come up with a deck to give people some statistics of what happens, the benefit to everybody when you allow someone like me, who's insane, to represent the products. It benefits us all. Benefits the manufacturer, benefits the local dealers, benefits whoever else is involved with the product. It's just good. It's more publicity. Rising tide lifts all ships. I get it. A lot of companies have been burned a lot by people taking it online and then whoring it out and driving the price down. Although most of these commercial companies doesn't really matter because they don't protect the price anyway. So as usual, we're going to wash with care. Nothing special. In fact, I feel like all is right in the world now. I'm washing my corrected M3 with some good old-fashioned wax on it. I feel like I've taken a step back in time to a better time. I got some new wiper blades to put on. But I was saying my R101 lightweights, I'm not sure the offsets. We kind of left it up to HRE. I decided to do gloss. So I'm doing gloss charcoal, which is like a gunmetal finish. And there'll be 19s. I'm gonna do 285, 3519 in the rear, and I think 265, 3519 in the front. I think they're 35s, it might be 30. Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. And then I just emailed Dynan today, or yesterday, about suspension. So I'm gonna do the Dynan sleeve kit. Say what you want, but I want it to be tame. I want it to be comfortable. I don't want to be miserable. So I'm doing Dynan sleeve, which retains the upper mounts, retains the shocks, the BMW shocks, allows me to lower it. I'm going to be doing Dynan sway bar, Dynan upper strut tower brace, which is more show than anything. I'll be doing the Dynan monoball, lower control on the monoball mounts, or monoball, whatever you call those thingers. And then rear toe arms. And then it'll be on to interior. I've just got a Pro Clip cell phone mount. Kind of interested to see how that works. I did get the Tune to Air Bluetooth thinger, but the Bluetooth in this car is not so great, even with that aftermarket thing. The audio is decent though, man. If I do Bav sound upgrade, I think that'll even improve it a little bit more. I'm not gonna go crazy and do like a full-on aftermarket audio system in this car, but I'll end up doing Bav sound at some point. If any of you guys are buddies of the Bav sound people, convince them that this is a widely followed M3. Send it to me and I'll do it sooner. Because those darn HREs, I mean, what are they? 2,400 bucks a piece, plus center caps and all the other crap that I had to buy from. Just an insane amount of money for those wheels. That's why I've never bought them before. But I sold my truck for 65 G's, bought this for 43. So I just took that cash, put it right back into the car, because Obsessed Garage LLC owned the truck anyway. I wanted to keep the expense. And then I ordered the Mode Carbon. I forget what, I think it's forget what they call their lip, it's like the Type 1 front lip. So I ordered that. That'll be here at the end of the month. And I just got the RKP rear diffuser. Just the regular one, not the, I think they call it the sport version now. And I'm gonna be putting the Dynon back on until I figure out what exhaust I wanna do next. So this car is about to get sick. And then I'll do some interior stuff. So I'll be doing, I already got my blend mount unit in R3, so I'll do that. And my Pro Clip cell phone mount, get that all installed, set up and wired. And I'll hardwire my unit in R3 on a blend mount. And then mirror taps don't really work so well on these cars, at least I've never gotten them to work well. So I'm just gonna be doing a hardwire back to the fuse box underneath. I think it's underneath the rear seat here, or in the trunk area. I have to look that up. It is on the F80, I don't remember where it is on this car. But I'll be doing whatever that short shift kit is, remove the clutch spring, and get different pedals. I'm gonna be doing Alcantara BMW Performance steering wheel, Alcantara shift boot. We have the I&D version. I already changed out the center console. I ordered a new M3, the split version, the split center console cover, because it was all crunchy and squeaky. And so I ordered a new one, but Get BMW Parts USA sent me one from the 3 Series, which is the non-split version. I put it on, I actually kind of like it. The leather is technically different, but you can't really tell. There's so many different type of surface textures in the car anyway. It's not really a big deal at all. So it actually looks really nice. So I might keep that. I likely won't be doing aftermarket seats. If I was, I'd do Recaro Sportsters, you know, the BMW Performance looking ones. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. But yeah, dude, these wheels are jacked. It's just ruined. It drives me crazy. I feel like everybody's looking at me. Like they know that my wheels are all curved up and they're blaming it on me, judging me. I go to the grocery store. I'm like, man, nobody knows what this car's about to get. And man, I feel like everybody's looking at me in the stock M3 with curved wheels, thinking, this guy doesn't know anything. Although, where I live here, completely anonymous. Nobody knows jack about it, cars. Everybody's driving Hyundais and Buicks. And I'm just sitting here in between, video takes, just thinking about all the freaking crazy stuff I've got going on. One, we're at again, even while I'm standing here, we sold another $5,000 or $6,000 worth of stuff. So we're at like $140,000 in a day, which is just, man, I can't be thankful enough for. I mean, I know that the vast majority of people are buying it because they want to see it succeed. They want to see me succeed. They want to see a Test Garage succeed. I mean, a lot of the stuff you can get anywhere, so I'm super appreciative of that. But while that's happening, I'm on the VinWiki channel today, so I put that up, me telling my story, and which is just insane. So I'm on that channel today. I'm getting really close to getting international shipping working and viable. It's never going to be cheap. It's never going to be free. It's never going to be inexpensive. But it is going to be, at least reasonable. And the key will be the people will be able to see what their cost actually is. You'll be able to see what you'll be able to pay up front if you want. You pay your landed cost. What are the taxes and duties going to be? What's the shipping cost going to be? When do we think it's going to get there? Provide you tracking and everything and make it really seamless. To be able to get you guys that are overseas the stuff that we're missing, that you're missing. And I hope to bring in some other products from the overseas here to provide it to the US. Some things that we're missing. So once again, this is before we put Bead Maker on. Bead Maker really won't change the hydrophobic capability of this much. The color on it is already so good. So now we've washed all the haziness away, but here's the hydrophobic ability of couple layers of colonite. It does great. And then we're gonna be able to blow this off really easily. So I got the little tip thinger. Of course, now I check this every time. But I got the little tip. I think I like it better without it. I always forget to put my hides on first. I'd like to be able to sell these someday too. So I'm gonna go and blow the whole car off and come back to you. Yeah, just finished drying off. I hate this tip thinger, so I like doing it better with this. I don't like the tip, so tip's not going on. I'm gonna wash most of them drying that way. I also don't like the tips for blowing up the driveway either. All right, so even after I washed it, I still have a little bit, you probably can't see it. So I haven't dried the car yet, but I still have a little bit of residue. See right here, I ran my finger across it. There's still a little bit of wax residue left over. So I'm gonna wipe this with just a dry towel. Actually what I'm gonna do is lubricate it a little bit with some spray wax, just so I'm not dragging a dry towel, and wipe this here. So I just don't know how Bead Maker's gonna react to fresh colonite. I've never done it before. So I just got a little bit of car wax just to add a little bit of lubrication. And I just wanna wipe the surface just to remove that little bit of leftover oils from the colonite from 2 coats or 2 layers of colonite. I don't wanna, Bead Maker cross links, and I don't want to lock that in. I don't know if it would, but I don't know. It just seems like common sense to me. And I want to at least wipe the surface here just to get that little bit of leftover oil residue that came to the surface from the colonite. Man, this looks good. Holy cow. All feels right in the world that my M3 is dialed in. Okay, so I'm going to do that to the roof as well. I'm going to buy another GH5 tonight and a gimbal. I really don't like how the handhold camera stuff looks. Plus it's on a Sony, so there's just a little different look. So when Bryce is hand holding occasionally, some closer up shots, like when I'm doing this type of stuff, I want to have more stable, and I don't want it to look different. The Sony camera has a little different shade to it, so I'm probably gonna, I know the GH5 is on like a crazy sale. As much as I don't want to buy another one, I think I'm gonna buy one so we have one of each, and I'm gonna get a gimbal, probably the DJI. I'm gonna fill up my Bead Maker bottle here, because I'm gonna spray quite a bit more on, since this will be the first application, and then we'll use it a lot more of a traditional drying aid in the future. I've got some pretty insane bottles coming, bottle and sprayers. I'm hoping they're what I think they are. Let's shake it up. But I'm also going to have P&S offer, they have a 32-ounce bottle and a 32-ounce label, but they don't sell a filled 32-ounce bottle. So I think, if you've seen all the crazy hype on this stuff, and the fact that it's now everywhere, I'm taking credit for that, or some credit for it at least. And so I think I can probably convince them to fill 32-ounce bottles for us. So that'll be coming here soon. My next order is going to have 32-ounce bottles filled as an option. 32-ounce stuff is a little less profitable than 16, but I don't give a crap. It's just the right thing. Okay, so here's application. These are the Griots PFM towels. Sorry to my buddies at Rag Company, but I haven't gotten the, I forget what they call their lower pile. These are like 1,000 GSM or something stupid. You can even hear the weight of the towels. I don't like that. And I know people love this type of towel. Maybe I'll come around on it. This certainly holds more water, but I just don't think that's necessary. But for this, it kind of is, because I'm gonna spray enough of the product on to have it touch itself, if you will. And I'm going to come and I'm going to wipe. And now it's not humid out here anymore. We're probably at like 60% humidity. So actually I should try that with the blue towels. Now, the other thing I've realized are my blue towels are probably about had it. You know, I've washed these a zillion times. They're probably loaded with product. So that's about the amount. Yeah, these towels are toast. See, there's the problem. That's why it's smearing. I'm gonna punt these and get a new batch. I don't know, again, I know everybody loves these type of towels. I don't think they're the best. They're probably not the best for putting Bead Maker on, because I'm wiping it all off here with one swipe. But that is a huge advantage when you're drying, I get it. It's just not as soft as I'd like it to be. These are just a harsher feeling towel. How insane does this car look on camera? I think a solution is to just load up the towel a little bit more. Gosh, these towels are so heavy. I'm one of these dudes that big, heavy, thick plush, in theory, is great, but it's not really useful in the real world. Yes, it's useful for removing this water, but it's not as, I don't know, it's not as soft. I think that the odds of these marring are much greater. So now, this first application gets people all in a tizzy who don't want to like this product, because I'm loading it on here. And you probably don't need to do it quite as much as I'm doing here. But when it's the result you get like an hour from now, a couple hours from now, or tomorrow morning when I come out and look at this thing, it's just great. It just looks different than anything else. Certainly than that spray wax that I was using, than any kind of silicone dioxide spray, whatever. I don't know, this towel is, again, it's just so heavy. The more water I put in it, I need to stop complaining. Just use it. So I think the Rag Company just came out with a new version. I forget what they call it. It's like a baby blue of this twist loop design. It's not as big and bulky. I mean, I don't need a towel to suck up all kinds of water because I just blew it off the car. You know, if the car is properly protected, then I should be able to blow off 90% of the water. You know, I've had a bunch of different people send me these type of towels in the past. And I just always, I want to like them because they do absorb tons of water. But something about it just doesn't feel quite right to me. And they tend to snag quite a bit. We do the glass too. It's one of those things that I think a lot of people will like as soon as they get their hands on them, and like them for a little while and then realize it's not really the way to go. Especially if you're getting into better waxes and coatings and things like that. We really don't need this massive thing to absorb all kinds of water. There is no water. The water's off the car already. I'm gonna have to keep playing with this. I think something in between probably makes better sense than this. So, cool thing about this, I can put it on the glass, I can put it on the paint, I can put it on the wheels, I can use it on the door jambs, I can use it everywhere. But notice the advantage of these big old towels is I can do the whole darn car with 2 of them instead of having to use 10 of them. You know, and I'm sure you're thinking, well, you just showed your towels don't work. Well, again, towels don't last forever. I take really good care of them, so they always look good, and I use them probably a little longer than they're worth. And the reason why I noticed it was because I have a brand new batch that I just pulled out at HQ, and I was like, wow, I now know why I'm pushing water around on my car, not just the humidity. It's because the towels are just done. So this is a really nice topper for the glass here. So our next application of this, I'll do more of one of these little deals and just spray it on a towel and use it as a drying aid instead of using it as a topper or building a layer of product on the car. So I'll treat the application much differently on the second time around, which will be much easier. So then I'm just maintaining it instead of creating it, creating that layer on the surface. I'm not gonna say it again. I almost said it again. It's too heavy. And all these freaking towels are pretty much the same. These 1000 GSM twist loop, they're all the same darn thing. The Geon Silk Dryer, the Rag Company, whatever the heck they call it. These griots here. I think this is my 5th or 6th one I'm using. It feels exactly the same as all the others. So I should stop being so stubborn and go grab a different towel. Or so, I guess I should say not stubborn, but lazy, since I'm complaining so much about it. But nah, this isn't it for me. Maybe it is for you, but it's not it for me. We'll try the 500 GSM twist loops from the Rag Company. We'll see how those do. But like I said, these type of towels are a towel that people are gonna like just because of how aggressive it is at sucking up water. I'm such a contrarian though. I always like the opposite. Luckily there are lots of contrarians that watch this stuff. The other thing that's so fascinating to me is why people complain about how much you have to use and how much it costs. And yet we're talking about high level detailing here. And this is like the cheapest thing I have in my gosh darn garage. Like by a long shot. I guess because I use a lot of it, I don't know, maybe it's not as cheap as I'm thinking, but it's like, what is it, 12 bucks a bottle or 30 bucks a gallon, something like that. Shoot, how much were these freaking towels? They were like 25 bucks or something crazy. What were these? I think they were like 30 bucks a pair or 15 bucks a piece or something like that. I guess you could keep reusing the towel. I guess that could be an argument, but cost is the one thing I was a little shocked that people even talking about on this bead maker stuff. Now, ammo hydrate actually works extremely well on colonite as well. It just doesn't look like this. And hydrate is way easier to apply because I would just do this, just wipe it on and walk away. So hydrate is still a lot of people's favorite. And it looks great. I'm a fan. I like that product, but this is better. I'm willing to work for it because I did like Optimum Spray Wax better than hydrate because I think it looked better. So I had actually made that transition to it. Of course, a lot of people blame me. The only reason you did that is because you can't sell it, which I guess that could be the case, but it just happened to work out that way. But yeah, I was using Optimum Spray Wax. I liked the way that looked better, extra protection it had, and then of course discovered Bead Maker, which works on everything. So this replaced Kinetech for me. This replaced Optimum Spray Wax, Ammo Hydrate, pretty much everything. Put our Bead Maker on the jams. Now the jams have colonite or power lock and colonite on it as well. Then we have the Wolf's Trim Coat here. Again, I like using really soft towels here, because I don't open these up when I'm washing. And so I do an initial really gentle wipe to get all the sand and dirt and dust out of it. and then follow. So our bead maker is our lubricant slash topper slash drying aid slash whatever you want to call it. If you do this every time, then this dirt won't be a problem anymore. Always stay clean, never get super dirty. Because of the way the vents work, there's a little bit of smearing here on the intake, whatever this thing's called, the intake cover. So I'm going to take some hyper dressing and just apply it manually, like so, just to get some of that streakiness off of there from the water running out the vent. Again, this is generally what it looks like after a application of hyper dressing. Just like to wipe it down to get all the little bit of polish dust that tends to get under here. Cool. This is probably my favorite engine bay of all time. Maybe like a glass Ferrari engine or something like that, you know, with the rear glass, but I don't know, I just love this. Love it, love it. So here's what the engine bay looks like with the hyper dressing on it. Still has a little bit of leftover or whatever silicone shiny stuff they put on in some of the areas, but comes out nicely. There's some scratches and stuff and some little bit of, from water running, a little bit of splotchiness there that I'll have to clean up. But again, I'll be getting an Venturi full carbon intake anyway at some point. Yeah, that's what it's about. It'll get even slicker. We'll see the long-term viability of doing a bead maker on top of Colonite. That was just something I've been interested in testing out here and seeing how it works. But I'll be doing some longer-term testing on it and just loving this contaminant-free awesomeness. Can't wait to get this car set up my way with wheels and suspension and all of that stuff. Make sure I'm not cut off here. So I'm going to change the wiper blades, dress the tires, put some bead maker on the jacked up wheels, vacuum the interior and all that. But I'm going to wrap up the video here, since I really wanted to give you a look into what the process would be after the big detailing process. So this will be, I guess, the follow-up. Tomorrow I'll take it for a drive, do that video, so that'll be up in a few days. But yeah, E92 M3 looks fantastic. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more crazy. Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.